In World War II, the Allies spent a great deal of time trying to fool the Germans into believing that they were going to invade somewhere else except Normandy. This was all part of Operation Bodyguard, and some things were remarkably well thought out. Armies were parachuted into France, fake armies including dummy tanks were stationed around Britain, and just in case any spies were in Britain, they employed a Bernard Montgomery look-alike to be seen around the country. They had done similar things when they invaded Sicily before. For instance, they put fake documents on a corpse and dropped that corpse off near Spain. From there, the documents made their way from Franco-Spain into Germany and convinced the Axis powers that they weren't going to invade Sicily. The Allies were trying to convince the Germans that they were going to invade somewhere like Norway or Calais, but just before D-Day, the Daily Telegraph put out a crossword where one of the answers was Juno, a code name for one of the beaches that they were going to invade. Throughout May, the Daily Telegraph seemed to have included all code names in their crosswords, like Mulberry, the code name for the floating harbours, Overlords, the code name for the whole operation, and also for the other beaches like Omaha. Now, the Telegraph's crossword did have a strange impact during the war. For instance, it was used to select the greatest minds in Britain to try and break the Enigma code, and you can still find this crossword online today. But this wasn't the first time that it was called into question for potentially revealing information. In 1942, just before the raid on Dieppe was given as an answer in the crossword, and this alarmed British intelligence. So Leonard Hoare, a headmaster and the creator of the crossword, was called in for questioning. He was found to be innocent and the whole thing was said to have just been a coincidence. However, in the 1980s, a former pupil of his came forward and said he, like other pupils, helped compile the crosswords. And they were at the time stationed next to an American and a Canadian military base, and they learned about all these code names from the troops. So it seems that the troops there were quite open about talking about all the code names for their operations. And it's also said that the pupil had to burn his notebooks, which included a hell of a lot of information about all the code names and operations. So he wasn't a spy, but it does seem a little bit strange to think how easily this information could have got from the American troops to the school children to the Germans, and D-Day might not have been as successful.